Well, it was a successful trip to Goodwill today. I went in today and found a good old silver face receiver. It's been years since I found one of these at a Goodwill or a thrift store, really. And this is a Techniques by Panasonic SA700. This is a big old monster of a receiver, 100 watts per channel. I believe this was from the kind of the heart of the receiver wars era back in the late 70s. This is from 78, 79, something like that. I didn't even bother plugging it in at the store. I just saw this and said, well, for 25 bucks or 24.50, it's mine. If it doesn't work, I can sell the knobs or something and get my money back. But let's see. Well, I got it plugged in and it's hooked up to the dim bulb tester. And there's a big inrush, but it seems to work. I mean, oh, I just heard a click. Sounds like the speaker relay clicked in. So I'll go ahead and measure the outputs and see if there's any DC on them. See what the output channels look like. Maybe feed it a signal and see what happens. I can see the bulbs probably are burned out up here. So it's going to require some work, and it's pretty beat up. And it's got some pretty bad nicks here in the wood. This is kind of crushed in here, the grill. And one thing I like to see when I'm picking up something old and used like this is that everything down there is dusty, which means nobody's been in there trying to fix it. At least that's what I hope. So if I'm really, really lucky, for $24.50 I may have gotten a decent vintage receiver war receiver. And if not, it's going to be a project. It's at least going to be a project cleaning it up. But yeah, let's do some measurements, see if it's any good. Well, I think I got pretty lucky on this receiver. It seems to work just fine. Got some speakers hooked up to it and Pandora. Put the chair on my front lawn, let the party go on. I can sit here all day long. So the controls are a little dirty, outside and inside, a little scratchy. So, but everything seems to work on it. AM/FM radio's just fine. All the controls are good except for being dirty internally and externally. So yeah, let's clean it up. Make it look like new, or as close as we can. Just a couple screws on the back of the top here, and we're into the amplifier or the receiver. And as you can see, it's pretty darn dusty down in there. And I've seen worse, but it looks like this thing has never been opened up. That's what I like to see. So I'm going to go ahead and fire up the compressor and blow out some of this dust. But I did notice that, I turn this thing on, all the lights seem to be working. That's good. So, boy, maybe just a cleaning, this thing will be good as new. A whole lot of dust came out of there. And that looks a whole lot better too. I don't see any capacitors that seem to be leaking, at least real badly, or with bulge tops. I'll take a quick look in here and just to make sure, but and since everything's working, I would assume it's nothing's too bad. Here's the bottom taken off, which is a very nice feature. You get to the bottom of all the boards to do component replacements. So I'll take a quick look at these solder joints and make sure none of them look too bad, but they look good for now. And I was hoping to get access to the controls here, but not from the bottom, not from the top. So maybe I'll have to pull the faceplate off over the sides. We'll see. I've been listening to the Techniques receiver here for about a day, and it's actually sounding really good. The only issue I'm having, I was having some issues with this tape monitor switch, but I sprayed a little deoxit in there, and that seemed to clean it up. But I need to clean up the knobs. They're pretty dirty. So what I think I'm going to do is just pull all these off and pop them in my ultrasonic cleaner. And clean behind them. They're real dirty. A lot of dust back there. And I want to try to spray a little bit more cleaner in these two switches. Well, all these switches if I get good access. The volume knob is occasionally a little scratchy. If I can get to that, that'd be good. And the balance knob was too. So let's see if I can get to those pots. And just basically clean up behind the glass. All the knobs. This thing will be ready to go. Okay, got all the knobs in the ultrasonic cleaner with some water. And I'll add a little bit of 409 in there. A couple squirts. Give this a clean. Alright, I'll go ahead and Q-tips clean up around where these knobs went just to get the dust and dirt from behind there and out. Make that look a little better. Okay, there we go. Got the faceplate off. It's still pretty dirty. Could use some cleaning. And we'll get behind here and clean this dust out of this area. And then at least these switches I should be able to give a good spray of deoxit into here. I'm not sure about getting to these pots. They may be troublesome. I'll see if I can get to it from the top here. Looks like that's going to be an issue, but I'll see what I can do. Okay, here's a little thing I found out about this faceplate. I was able to pull it off okay, but getting it back on, things just would not align. So I wound up having to take off all of these little things that just go right in here. They fit just inside the holes, so it just wasn't aligning to go back together until I removed all of those. And it's just got a little nut inside that unscrews it, so that all screws back on again. There's a tip: if you can't get your faceplate to line back up again on your SA700, take all these off, and eventually you'll be able to wiggle it back on. Okay, got this all cleaned up, put back together, and I think that's all I'm going to do to it because it's working just fine.
This is a working question. All right, well, now that the pressure is on, the question is...
volume control's working without any noise. Balance working good. And this switch right here, which is... that was the main problem, as you jiggled that, it wouldn't work. So everything's 100% functional on it. And it's looking pretty good, all cleaned up, and that'll be it for this one. I gotta find a place to use it. I guess I could put it here in my garage listening room, but that's too nice to put in the garage. I'll find someplace for it. So, thanks again for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.